Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone from wherever you're watching us from. You're welcome to Clearview TV. You're welcome to Matters Arising, where we discuss issues that are affecting Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. From wherever you're watching us, you're welcome to Clearview TV. You're welcome to Matters Arising, where we discuss issues that are affecting Nigerians. I am Olawale Buluatfe Olashibumi, and today we'll be looking at legal insight to the Adamawa State gubernatorial election, which took place on the 16th of April 2023. We would like to get the legal implication of the whole dramatic election. Yes, many people have described it as dramatic. And today we will be here with us in the studio is a seasoned lawyer that will be giving us his legal opinion on this whole issue. Barrister Tochukwu Nwachukwu is here with us. You're very welcome, sir. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, because we are not sure, or just to bring our viewers up to par, just in case there are some people here that do not have the full idea, can you just give us like an understanding of what exactly took place on the 15th of April? Yes, on the 15th of April with regards to the election.
Okay, I think it will be proper before we go to what transpired on the 15th of April for us to
Okay, sir.
get, get back to what happened on the 18th day of sorry,
Of
18th
March.
day of February. Sorry, 18th day of March when the governorship election was conducted in Adamawa State and throughout the whole federation. You could recall that
Okay, sir.
the electoral umpire, that's INEC, declared, um, amongst other states like Kebbi and Adamawa State gubernatorial election inconclusive. So that's necessarily a
Yes,
rerun.
sir.
Um, I think specifically the one a run on the 15th day of April. So the rerun took place as scheduled, but after the rerun on Saturday, while the results were being collected, specifically on Sunday, the the returning officer for that election is one Professor Mele Lamido, a seasoned professor, while the resident electoral commissioner for Adamawa State is one Mr. Hudu Yunusa Are. So while the collation were still ongoing, the returning officer, who is Professor Mele Lamido, having collected about results from about 10 local governments with the PDP gubernatorial candidate leading, he announced that there will be a short break for collations to continue. So while the recess was ongoing, at the time that the collation was meant to uh, reconvene, unfortunately, the resident electoral commission, Mr. Hudu Yunusa Are, stormed into the collation center and brought out handwritten notes from the pocket in company of the Commissioner of Police for Adamawa State, and in a very bizarre manner announced the APC gubernatorial candidate, Senator Aishatu Dahiru, as the winner of the contest. I mean, while the collation is yet to be concluded, so the rest is story. So that is basically what transpired on Sunday, 16th day of April, that threw the whole of Adamawa State and the nation at large into a very state of confusion, because the laws are very, very clear. So these are the issues that we'll be looking at. What are the legal implications of that pronouncement, even though I think yesterday INEC had to do some intervention pursuant to the powers they have under Section 55 of the Electoral Act. The INEC chairman, INEC spokesperson, by Honorable Barrister Festus Okoye, have to make an intervention on the INEC Twitter handle that's pronouncement that were made by the resident electoral commissioner will not stand, and he ordered the parties involved, being the INEC resident electoral commissioner in Adamawa State and the returning officer, Professor Mele Lamido, to come to Abuja. So that is basically what transpired. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for giving us like the background to this whole situation. The while you were speaking, you made mention of certain offices. You made mention of the returning officer and then the residential electoral commissioner. So, sir, please, who exactly is a residential electoral commissioner? What exactly are his powers or his functions? Yes.
Okay, the resident electoral commissioner is the INEC head, the head of INEC institution in a particular state, and is an appointed commissioner, and his powers are as stipulated under the Electoral Act. He's the one that superintends the workings and operations of the INEC as an institution within a particular state. Then, at the other hand, a returning officer is the chief collation agent, and for each particular election, there could be a returning officer depending on the nature of the election. There could be a returning officer for the local government election, constituency election, that is House of Assembly, senatorial election, House of Rep election, presidential election, state election. So INEC usually designates a particular person because the elections are in phases. Like in February 25, they have 3 elections in each of the states. They have for the National Assembly, that is the House of Rep and Senate. Then also in also presidential, the election was conducted in same day. So there is a returning officer for each of those elections. So for this particular, sorry, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Okay, so for this particular election, that is the Adamawa State in view, the returning officer is by name. That is the returning officer for that election, who is empowered to make pronouncement as to who wins the election, is Professor Melo Lamido. Thank you.
Okay, sir, thank you very much for that. So from what you've said now, the residential electoral commissioner acted outside his powers.
Yes.
When he that the PDP candidate had won the election. That's what you're saying right now, sir.
Sure. He acted outside his powers. He's not the one that was saddled with that responsibility. He was not the designated returning officer for that particular election, even though he's the head of INEC institution. He's the head of INEC institution in Adamawa State. But
yes, sir.
he had one saddled with the responsibility of announcing the result of the gubernatorial election. So he acted outside the powers conferred on him. That was why if you see what the INEC wrote in response, INEC said that action is null and void. Thank you.
At this show, what is the implication of the action of the residential electoral commissioner in accordance to law? What is the consequence of what he has done? What is the legal implication for him now. That's for the Residential Electoral Commissioner.
Before I respond to that question, let me just give a background. Is a very sad development the way we are progressing currently in the nation. One would have been imagining what was behind the charade that played out, or the perfidy that played out on that Sunday. It's assumed that as a resident electoral commissioner of the state, he should have known the limit of the powers conferred on him. So it's an outright breach of the provisions of the law. And I'm taken aback is even the response of the Independent National Electoral Commission. It's very, very unfortunate that the people that are saddled with public trust and responsibility do not understand, appreciate the weight of the responsibilities that are resting on their shoulders. And it's unfortunate that the way the country is progressing, the level of impunity is very, very alarming. So the laws are very, very clear. In fact, specifically, Section 124 of the Electoral Act provides that anybody that makes announcement as regards the outcome of election, which he reasonably ought to know that is not in accordance to the voting, it makes it, the section penalizes it. It's a criminal offense, and I'm surprised that that by now that man should have been arrested, because what he attempted to do is to bungle the will of people, and we cannot continue to progress in this manner. In this manner, Nigeria is a country that is governed by laws, so there should be deterrent, a way of deterrent. That the man that made that announcement ought to have been picked up for investigation. Even if they are able to find out what, because there are allegations in certain quarters that he was induced for that conduct, is an allegation anyway. But investigation should have commenced by now.
Yes, sir. You mentioned that he should be arrested. I understand that the commissioner of police that was with him at the time of announcing that, making that announcement, has been requested to be arrested. I understand that has, if he has been arrested himself. So moving on now, because as a result of that announcement he made, the PDP candidates, she already made her acceptance speech, and then before INEC also made their own declaration that it was null and void, the announcement was null and void, which has just made the whole election very chaotic and dramatic. Yes, it appears like it's a crisis situation in Adamawa, because some people even had to protest when INEC made that declaration. So I'm just going to ask, does INEC have the power to declare his announcement null and void if there's any inconsistency with the electoral procedural procedure? Does INEC have the power
Yes.
to
Yes, the
step in
of the
and declare?
It seems that there is an interruption.
Sir, I didn't get you.
Okay, yes, I got your question.
Okay, sir.
The declaration by INEC is within the ambit of the law. That is one of the novel provision of the 2022 Electoral Act that gives INEC power to review within 7 days if there are issues. So this one can safely come under the section 65 of the Electoral Act that gives a subsection 2 that empowers INEC the provider that was made therein to subsection 1 that empowers INEC to be able to review within 7 days any result that is announced. And let me quickly add that, assuming Mr. Tochku, I don't have the power to conduct election. I don't have the power to declare a result. I find my way into a collation center, collect the mic, and pronounce one of the contestants the winner of the contest. Will it be proper for people to tell me to go, for people to say, okay, let's wait and go to um, the electoral tribunal? But that is one of the arguments that are being canvassed by the party that was affected by the pronouncement. That so long as that pronouncement is made already, that the INEC does not have the power to void the declaration. That is only election tribunal that can do that. I think that is taking the argument off the mark. The issue is that the person that made the pronouncement does not have the necessary virus. It does not possess the power to make that pronouncement. Therefore, it's null and void. So INEC, in my view, INEC INEC's decision to review that declaration is within the powers that INEC have under Section 65, sub 1 of the Electoral
Within the
Act.
purview of their powers.
Yes, it's within their powers to so review. The law make a provision because the law is some of this development. The law make a provision like instances where the pronouncement was made under duress. We saw what transpired in 2019 when some of the results were proclamation were made under duress. So where an investigation is conducted and is affirmed that actually the person that made the declaration was placed under duress, it was procured through coercion. INEC has the powers within 7 days of that pronouncement to review same. And more so in this instance, it's very, very striking to observe that the collation process have not concluded. So how can you make a declaration when the process of collation is still ongoing? The resident electoral, the returning officer adjourned the collation process and announced that they will convene, I think, by 11 a.m. Upon coming back to continue the collation, the rec stepped in and make the declaration. So at that point, the collation is still ongoing. So I think what INEC did is within the ambit of the law, and that is where I think yesterday the collation continued and a return was made. INEC had already, the returning officer had already declared who is the winner of the election. So at this stage, all parties that are aggrieved should proceed to the election tribunal to ventilate their grievances. Thank you.
Sir, while you were speaking, you mentioned that the announcement was made while he was under duress.
No. I said that the law envisages this situation. If you check Section 65,
Okay.
Section 65 sub 1, that states that the decision of the returning officer shall be final on any question relating to maybe unmarked ballot box, C, declaration of scores of candidates, and the return of a candidate, provided that the commission shall have the power within 7 days to review the declaration and return, where the commission determines that the state declaration or return was not made voluntarily or was made contrary to the provisions of the law. So the law empowers INEC, if they review the situation and discover that the declaration or the pronouncement of winner was made in contravention of the Electoral Act, they have the power to review same. And that is exactly what happened. So INEC is within the ambit of the law in reviewing that situation and deciding that collation will continue. Collation continued yesterday, and the person that is designated and empowered to make a pronouncement as to the return of the winner have done so.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for that enlightenment, because several opinions have gone out that INEC was not acting within the purview of their powers by declaring the announcement null and void, that such matter ought to be referred to the election petition tribunal. And I understand that the APC gubernatorial candidates already instituted an ex parte action in courts, right, sir? But the court held that they didn't have jurisdiction to entertain that matter, or the court was asking her legal representative if they had jurisdiction. So, sir, can you just enlighten us a little? Does the Federal High Court of Abuja have the jurisdiction to entertain such matter?
Okay, as lawyers, when issues are pending in court, by our training, we are advised to refrain from making comments that might prejudice the outcome of the suit. So we say that the matter is sub judice. But in response to your question, it's good that I understand that before I make my remarks. It's good that I understand that before I make my remarks. Yes, it's within
Okay,
her
sir.
right. It's within her right to go to court if she feels that is agreed. But the laws are very clear. The laws are very clear. INEC decision to review that declaration is within the ambit of the law. So the question of what the court will do, the laws are very clear. So it's not for me to begin to give my view as to what but the laws are very clear as regarding that the issue. You understand? So it's within her power. If she feels that she is agreed, she can go to the court. But at this point, I know that the matter should proceed to election tribunal because a return has been made as at yesterday.
Yes,
So
sir.
the case in at Federal High Court will remain academic because the return is already made. So all parties should proceed to election tribunal. The jurisdiction of the Federal High Court is relating to pre-election matters and not post-election matters. At the point she went to court, collection were still ongoing. Collections were still
Okay, sir.
ongoing. Collection was concluded as at yesterday. So that issue is not a pre-election, it's an issue that has to do after election. So they should proceed to election tribunal. That is a proper
Okay,
full
sir.
grievance.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for that. Very educating. I just want to ask now, because it appears that INEC has made two declarations, one illegally and one legally. So who exactly is the winner of the Adamawa State gubernatorial election?
That's a very interesting analysis. I love the way you put it. INEC has made two contradictory declarations. One was made on Sunday. Another one was made yesterday. So the party should proceed to court.
Yes, sir.
That's the usual go to court. So it's very honestly, it's really very, very appalling the way things have progressed in few months. Is quite unfortunate. But I trust that the judiciary will be able to live up to expectation in handling some of these issues because the 2023
Sir, please, are you still there?
things that are quite disheartening.
Excuse me, sir. I didn't hear what you just said.
Can you hear me?
Thank you. You're welcome back. Barrister Tochukwu, you're welcome once again as you were giving us legal insights to the activities or the gubernatorial election that took place on the 15th of April 2023 and the declaration that was made on the 16th, the following day. So the last question I asked was whether who exactly rather is the winner of the gubernatorial election in Adamawa State, as it appears that two declarations were made by INEC.
Okay, who is the winner? INEC have represented the first. INEC have represented the first. The person that made the two declaration, the institution that have made the two declaration, represented the first, continued with the collation, and made a return yesterday. So until, except the court determine otherwise, the one that was done yesterday was done the one that was done yesterday stands.
Okay, sir.
That is my view.
I can imagine, or I can say that members or citizens of Adamawa State now are probably in confusion. Yes, I imagine that I would be in confusion if I were in their situation. So what piece of advice will you give them now in regards to the law? What piece of advice will you give them concerning this whole confusion that has taken place?
There shouldn't be basis for confusion. Like I answered in your the question before this one, that INEC repudiated the first declaration and they made another one yesterday. So the people should go about their normal business, except the court makes a contradictory pronouncement. So the people should go about their normal business, and certainly, even though the declaration was made yesterday, I know certainly the result would one way or the other be contested. So they should go about their normal business. A winner has emerged, and through a fierce and protracted context. So all head
You're welcome back once again. There was a break in connection, but we're back. And we were discussing on how citizens in Adamawa State should be at peace, they should rest assured until the court makes a different declaration. The last declaration by INEC still stands, according to what Barrister Tojiku has enlightened us on. And I just want to ask, the other time you were mentioning that if an announcement was made under duress, the law has already made provision, had envisaged it, and has already made provision for it. So I was just going to ask if in a scenario where the Residential Electoral Commissioner made that announcement while he was under duress for whatever reason, or in whatever case, he had to make that announcement because he was under duress, will he still be punished by law? You're welcome, sir. You're welcome back.
Interruption. Thanks for having me.
No problem, sir.
Okay.
Okay, I was just going to ask the last question this evening, and I was creating a scenario where the Residential Electoral Commissioner was under duress when he made that announcement. So will he still be liable under the law for making an illegal announcement because he was under duress?
Well, whether it will absolve him of liability. Well, until
Yes, sir.
until his investigation that will prove whether the declaration was made under duress. We are not to make case for him. He has not said that the announcement was made under duress. Moreover, he's not even the one that ought to have made that declaration. The Commissioner of Police, so who would have placed him under duress? I'm just imagining. My mind is just wondering who would have placed him under duress in the presence of Commissioner of Police, who came along with him. So
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Thank you so much for enlightening us.
you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Has been very educating for me. A few things that I was able to pick from what we discussed is that it was the duty of the returning officer to make the announcement of the winner and not the Residential Electoral Commissioner. And
Yes, as provided
um, sorry, so I didn't get you. As provided,
by the Electoral Act.
yes, as provided by the Electoral Act. I was also able to pick from what you said that the Electoral Act, as amended in 2022, also provides that INEC has, it's within the purview of INEC's power to um, intervene in the case of any wrong procedure during the election within 7 days. Am I
Yes,
correct, sir? Okay,
yes.
thank you very
Section
much.
65.
Um, and finally, which is not just for me but for everybody, you mentioned that everyone should be at peace. There's no need for confusion. We should all rest assured. Until the court makes a different decision, the decision of INEC still stands on whom is on the winner of the Adamawa gubernatorial election. So thank you very much, sir, Barrister Tochukwu, for having us. Very, very grateful for the insights that you gave us, the legal insights that you gave us. It was nice having this conversation. It was nice having this interactive session. Looking forward to another interactive session with you, sir. Thank you so much, viewers. Thank you for listening in. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to tune in to Clearview TV. We have a lot in store for you. Thank you very much.